Welcome back to the Rev It Up podcast. This is Kane Holen. This is episode 13. We'll start something new with we'll name drivers off every episode we'll match the driver to the episode number. So we'll go with number 13, Dallin Murdy, and the episode of Rev It Up here we'll go through results from the World of Outlaw Late Models as they went up to 141 Speedway, as well as the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series as they were at the Smoky Mountain Speedway for the Mountain Moonshine Classic, as well as the Summer Nationals as they continue their Hell Tour. And then we'll look at local results from the Fayette County Speedway, along with the Fairmont Raceway and the Rock Rapids Speedway. And then Saturday, the Winneshiek Raceway and the Dodge County Speedway. I went up to that. What a well-executed show that was up in Casson. Great to see Casson back going. My first ever trip there, but I watched the Dirt Nights episode there from Casson, and a lot of good clips there with John Tesh and a lot of the old USMTS drivers, and hearing stories from people who are sitting around. All the great memories from the Casson track has brought back all kinds of old memories from a lot of the guys that have been going up to Casson from when they were young race fans. Stands were slammed packed. I mean, it was full in. I mean, it was just a good show up there in Casson. Great racing. We'll get into the results from Casson later in the show as well. We'll look at Mason City Motor Speedway results. So let's get into Rev It Up. Are you looking for speed on the track? Well, I have a solution for you, and that solution is Rage X. Get a hold of Harley Dice or Jake Tim today. They make B mods and A mods, and the best thing about Rage X is they don't just give you your car and send you off. They give you technical support with everything you need, and they're racers too. They'll help you throughout the season. So find your speed with Rage X Chassis. You can find them at Rage X on Facebook. Head on out to the Cresco Speedway this week for the mighty Howard County Fair races. The Cresco Speedway races stock cars, hobby stocks, eco mods, tuners, and much more on Wednesday. And on Thursday is featuring the Carl Chevrolet Premier Late Model Tour for $2,000 to win. And also highlighted are the stock cars, hobby stocks, and B mods on Thursday. Head out to the fastest track in Northeast Iowa. See you at the races. Summer National results going all the way back to Monday in the week. Jason Feger from Bloomington, Illinois, picking up the win, followed by Tanner English out of Benton, Kentucky. Frank Heckenash Jr. coming in third, followed by Robeline, Louisiana's The Thriller, Cade Dillard. Mitch McGrath out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, coming in fifth. Clay Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana, coming in sixth, up 4 positions. Daniel Adam out of Peru, Illinois, will finish seventh, and Matthew Larson out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, will finish eighth. Michael Leach out of Sun River, Montana, will finish ninth, up 4 positions, and Jake Rainey out of Powder Springs, Georgia, will round out the top 10. Notable local drivers in the show: Kurt Schroeder out of Newton, Iowa, as well as Paul Parker. We see him up at Deer Creek a lot, and we'll get into the next night of Summer Nationals at West Liberty now. Picking up the win at West Liberty was Oxford, Iowa's Chris Simpson, followed by Chelsea, Iowa's Dallin Murdy. If a caution had not fallen in lap traffic, Dallin Murdy might have had a good shot to sneak around Chris Simpson. Chad Simpson out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, finished third, followed by The Thriller, Cade Dillard, in fourth. Dylan Thornton out of Orca, Iowa, finished fifth, followed by Billy Moyer in sixth. Jason Feger out of Bloomington, Illinois, will finish seventh, and Derek Stewart out of Ainsworth, Iowa, will finish eighth. Frank Heckenash Jr. out of Frankfort, Illinois, will finish ninth, and Tanner English will round out the top 10. 141 did a test and tune late model race on Thursday before the late models, World of Outlaw late models came to town, and Dallin Murdy picked up the $1,500 in the test and tune. Results from Fayette County on Friday. What's new? Dan Hovden picking up the win in the USRAB mods, followed by Kyle Anderson out of Decorah. Trevor Fecht out of Allison coming home third, followed by Troy Hovey up 8 positions out of Fayette. Ben Modry out of Protivin finishing fifth, followed by Cole Denner out of Ionia finishing sixth, up 4 positions. Dale Schwaman out of Fort Atkinson finishing seventh, followed by Alex Schweisinger out of Walker, Iowa, up 5 positions to finish 8th. Tim Hines out of Waukon will finish 9th. And rounding out the top 10 for the B-Mods at Fayette County is Marcus Schwadek out of Ridgeway, Iowa. USRA hobby stock results look like Chance Hillman picking up the win out of Waukon, up 2 positions. Daryl Moss out of West Union, Iowa, up 5 positions to get the victory. Aaron Klempe out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, coming home 3rd. And Caden Helly out of Garnavillo will finish 4th. Max Jones out of Waterville, Iowa will finish 5th. And Junior Boyer out of Kelmer will finish 6th. Arthur Schott out of Claremont, Iowa will finish 7th, up 6 positions. And Adam Spiker out of Fredericksburg, Iowa finished 8th. Ryan Crooks out of Ionia, Iowa will finish 9th. And Oliver Munson out of Thornton will round out the top 10. Nolan Lurch out of West Union picks up the win in the USRA Tuners, followed by Waukon, Iowa's Dylan Reilly. Dalton Fells out of Kelmer came up 5 positions to finish 3rd, and Landon Johnson out of Waukon will finish 4th. Gentry Brever out of Fredericksburg will finish 5th, and Tom Kessel will finish 6th. Perry Kessel will finish 7th, and Landon Bruce will finish 8th, and Carter Kruger out of Volga, Iowa will finish 9th, and Sean Kraft will round out the top 10. Ironmans invaded the Fayette County Speedway. We'll look at the results. Dylan Clinton out of West Union picks up the victory, followed by Justin Custer out of Liberty, Missouri, up 14 positions to get 2nd. The Deer Creek Speedway and Fountain City, Mississippi Thunder Speedway hot shoe, Braden Jerry with a good run. He'll finish 3rd, up 8 positions. Derek Green out of Grenada, normally a Fairmont runner, he'll finish 4th. Kevin Donlin out of Decorah will finish 5th, followed by the missile Miles McHale out of Fort Dodge. Doug Keller out of St. Joseph, Missouri will finish 7th, followed by Mitch Hovden out of Decorah with the 8th place finish. Randy Foote out of Stanton, Iowa will finish 9th, and the rookie Taylor Donlin from Decorah will follow him up 7 positions to get the 10th place finish. Lucas Oil Late Model Series was at Smoky Mountain Speedway in Maryville, Georgia. B-Shep Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois picked up the victory, followed by Chickamauga, Georgia's Dale McDowell. Garrett Albertson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico finished 3rd, followed by Smokey Chris Madden out of Great Court, South Carolina. Slammin' Sammy Seawright will finish 5th out of Fort Payne, Alabama, and following him is Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. He'll finish 6th. RTJ Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Chandler, Arizona, now living in Indianola, Iowa, will finish 7th, and following him in 8th place will be the New Deal Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana. Chris Ferguson out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, up 8 positions to finish 9th, and following him is Josh Rice from Crittington, Kentucky to round out the top 10. Rock Rapids Speedway B-Mod results. The Black 6, Dustin Cruz out of Baltic, South Dakota, picking up the victory, followed by Derek Van Vitalhausen out of Rock Rapids will finish 2nd. Jake Richards out of Lansing, Kansas will finish 3rd. He's actually doing the unthinkable, doing 8 races in 10 days. Following him is Justin Keister out of Chance Keller, South Dakota, and Duke Erickson out of Sioux Falls will finish 5th, and Caden Brunner out of Austin in the Rev It Up podcast sponsored car will finish 6th. Jeremy Wagner picking up the victory at the Fairmont Raceway Park, followed by Jonathan Hines out of Winnebago, and Brandon Schur from Gardner, a local around the area, went out there to race. And Parker Anderson, a big national contender, did not even start the feature, so some problems there for Parker Anderson. Ty Griffith out of Blairsburg, Iowa, win the B-Mods, followed by Clay Beamer out of Fairmont. Randy Winter out of Winnebago will come home 3rd, and Rylan Reitzel out of Burt will finish 4th. And Slade Fitzgerald from Sanborn, Minnesota will round out the top 5. Troy Swearingen from Thompson will win the stock cars, followed by Chance Larson out of Welcome, up 4 positions. Luke Sathoff out of Jackson will finish 3rd, followed by Colby Fett out of Algona. Cade Lear out of Fairmont will round out the top 5. World of Outlaw late model results from the 141 Speedway on Saturday night. Bobby Pierce, the smooth operator, will pick up the victory. Following him is Tim McCready out of Watertown, New York. Nick Hoffman will finish 3rd, up 5 spots, and Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California will come home 4th. Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas will finish 5th. Following him is Dallin Murdy out of Chelsea, Iowa. How about the Chelsea, Iowa driver, the game changer Dallin Murray, up 12 positions to finish 6th. Trey Mills up 7 positions to get 7th. And Ryan Gustin, the Reaper, will finish 8th. And Jake Tim will finish 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Dylan Thornton out of Orca, California, now living in Belle Plaine, Iowa, will finish 10th. Lucas Oil late model results Saturday. Mac Daddy, Dale McDowell out of Chuckamunga, Georgia, picking up the win. Following him is Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. He'll finish 2nd. Brandon Shepard 3rd. How about Jake O'Neill out of Tucson, Arizona? He'll finish 4th. Chris Madden out of Great Court, South Carolina, 5th. Carson Ferguson out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, will finish 6th. Max Blair out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, will finish 7th, up 14 positions. And Kyle Bronson will finish 8th. Sam Seawright out of Fort Payne, Alabama, will finish 9th, and Dylan McCowan will round out the top 10. Results from the Hamilton County Speedway: Ben Nading picking up the A modified win, followed by Lee Beamer, and coming home 3rd is Devin Havlick out of Waterloo. Ironman stock car results look like Derek Green picking up the win, followed by Kelly Shryock out of Fertile. Brennan Hare coming home 3rd, Hare Nation, followed by Chance Hollitz out of Clear Lake, up 12 positions. Gavin Bustinger out of Grenada will finish 5th, followed by Miles McHale out of Fort Dodge will finish 6th. Brock Badger out of Bagley will finish 7th, followed by Jesse Brown out of Nashville will finish 8th. Andrew Borkett out of Plymouth will finish 9th, and following him is Andrew Inman out of Mason City will finish 10th, up 14 positions. Ty Griffith picking up the B mod win. Following him is Jake Richards out of Lansing, Kansas. Clay Beamer coming home 3rd. Rick Rocky Cottle coming home 4th. Doug McCullough will come home 5th. Brian McCoy 6th. Todd Gold 7th. Kylie Beamer 8th. Eric Baker 9th. And George Gillen will round out the top 10. The money man Joshua Munson picking up the win in the USRA Hobby Stock. Scott Doble out of Manly coming home 2nd. Dustin Gulbronson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota 3rd. Jeremy Wagner out of Grettinger 4th. Tyler Crimmins will finish 5th. Jade Lang 6th. Zach Schmidt out of Mason City, Iowa will finish 7th. Jacob Monson out of Clear Lake will finish 8th. Bryce Summerfield out of Fort Dodge, Iowa will finish 9th. And Riley Crimmins out of Fort Dodge, Iowa will finish 10th. Now we'll take a look at the Winneshiek Raceway results. Dylan Reilly picking up the win out of Waukon. Perry McKessel, a flying mathematician, will come home 2nd. Dalton Fells out of Kilmer will finish 3rd. Leanna Bruce out of New Hampton will finish 4th. And Katie Stahl will round out the top 5. Picking up the Eco Mod win is Skylar Hovey out of Fayette. Coming home 3rd is Robert Michaels. Brett Schwerk out of Holman coming home 3rd. And Alex Kelsch coming home 4th. Dawson Keebler coming home 5th. Alex Van Pelt coming home 6th. Ryan Helverson coming home 7th. Colin Jones coming home 8th. Scott Ponish coming home 9th. And Sean Malone coming home 10th. USRA B-Mod results look like yet again Dan Hovden up 7 positions picking up a win. Kyle Anderson will finish 2nd. Nathan Butterfield will finish 3rd. Dale Schwaman out of Fort Atkinson will finish 4th. Mike and Iverson out of Galesville up 9 positions to finish 5th. Chad Helverson out of Decorah, Iowa will finish 6th. Taylor Skauge out of Caledonia, Minnesota will finish 7th. Keegan Eink out of Decorah will finish 8th. Patrick McDermott out of Decorah will finish 9th. And Braden Schaffenbiel out of New Hampton, Iowa will finish 10th. Stock car results from the Winneshiek Raceway look like Mitch Hovden picked up the win up 5 positions. Following him is Jason Schlangen. Dylan Klein will finish 3rd, followed by Kevin Donlin. Kyle Falk 5th. Braden Jerry out of Mabel will finish 6th. Danny Cole out of Lansing 7th. And Braden Brower out of Eota, Minnesota will finish 8th. Levi Sand out of Caledonia 9th. And Taylor Donlin out of Decorah will finish 10th. Steve Larson picking up the hobby stock win, followed by Arthur Schott out of Claremont. Joshua Ludeking coming home 3rd. Scott Spilly out of Cresco up 4 positions to get 4th. Devin Holthouse out of Cresco dropped 2 positions to get 5th. Ryan Crooks out of Ionia up 6 spots to get 6th. And Dane Curtin, the doorman, up 3 positions to get 7th. Michael Miner out of Monona, Iowa will get 8th. And Chris Dahl out of Decorah, Iowa up 4 spots to get 9th. And Tim Hovey up 9 spots to round out the top 10. Take a look at the Dodge County results. USRA Northern Lights Modifieds picking up the win in a dynamic battle with Rodney Sanders as Joe Chisholm up 3 spots. Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas will come home second. Nick Murgic out of Rosamond will come home third. Harley Dice carrying our Rev It Up podcast sticker will come home fourth. And Jacob Blees will come home fifth. Keith Foss out of Winona will come home sixth. Justin Weisberger out of Monroe, Wisconsin will come home seventh. Alex Williamson, the Iceman out of Rushford, will come home eighth. And Parker Hale ninth. AJ Hoff will round out the top 10. Jet Sorensen picking up a USRAB mod win in a heck of a battle with Jamie Hiller. Hiller comes home second. Jackson Hale, the Jack Stand, will come home third. Mason Stockhausen, you saw him on the Rev It Ups under the helmet, will come home fourth. Gage Mata out of Owatonna will come home fifth. Christopher Dino up 15 positions to get sixth. Corbin Ludeman will come home seventh. Tiana Matuna out of New Richland, Minnesota will finish eighth. Zach Elward out of Hayfield will finish ninth. And Nick Kramer will round out the top 10. Gavin Bartel picking up yet another USRA Hobby Stock win, followed by Carter Johnsgard, Dalton Pesky, Greg Lemmers, Max Schumacher, and David Gustafson. Mason City Motor Speedway results picking up the USRA Hobby Stock win, up 9 positions is Scott Doble out of Manly. Oliver Monson out of Thornton will finish second. Jade Lang out of Humboldt will finish third. Zach Smith out of Manly will finish fourth. Gavin Bartel out of Casson will finish fifth. Jeremy Wagner out of Grettinger, Iowa will finish sixth. Jacob Monson will finish seventh. The doorman Dane Curtin will finish eighth. And Carter Coop will finish ninth. And Joshua Monson will finish 10th. B-Mod results from Mason City, Taylor Skauge from Caledonia picking up the win, followed by Caden Brunner out of Austin coming home second. Harley Dice, the Dice Man, coming home third. Ben Modry out of Protivin will finish fourth. Jamie Hiller out of Waseca will finish fifth. Jake Richards out of Lansing, Kansas, sixth. George Norman out of Mason City, Iowa will finish seventh. Clay Beamer out of Fairmont will finish eighth. Travis Schulbrock out of West Union, Iowa will finish ninth. And Harrison Horn out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa will finish 10th. USRA modified win goes to Harley Dice, the Dice Man. He had a commanding lead over the field. Nick Murgic out of Rosemont will finish second. Tyler Grooms out of Trenton, Missouri will finish third. Blake Arndt will finish fourth. And Al Hana will finish fifth. We want to thank Harley Dice for putting a Rev It Up sticker on the side of his car as he took her to victory lane tonight. So we thank him for giving us all the exposure that we want to keep growing the channel. Ironman stock car results from the Mason City Motor Speedway. Kelly Shryak picking up the victory, up 6 spots. Braden Jerry out of Mabel, Minnesota, coming home second. Travis Shipman out of Mason City, Iowa, coming home third. Derek Green out of Grenada, fourth. Chance Hollitz out of Clear Lake, Iowa, finished fifth. Andrew Inman out of Mason City, Iowa, finished sixth, up 5 spots. Justin Custer out of Liberty, Missouri, finished seventh. And Jalen Wettengill out of Topeka, Kansas, up 12 spots to finish eighth. Jacob Blees, the modified driver, now driving a stock car off and on from Chatfield, will finish ninth. And Andrew Borkett will finish 10th. At this time, I'd like you to like and subscribe, as now we'll go into history as the Cresco Speedway Fair races. We'll go into history on the Cresco Speedway. We'll go into the 1994 top 10 in the classes at the Cresco Speedway, along with much more. So keep your eyes on the pictures we'll have here. We have pictures from all kinds of classes here. We have pictures from Jeffrey Scalebeck, Douglas Sandy, Jeff O'Connor, P.D. Rohr, Brandon Zillman. More pictures on the back side of the paper here from Heath Pellock, Dean Verba, and Jeremy Oakes, who I was just driving just a couple of years ago. And yeah, just a lot of good stuff here. I'll put all these pictures in here as it's just relics from the Cresco Speedway. If you're looking to go out to see some good racing this week, head out to the Cresco Speedway. But feel free to pause the video and check out some of these old photos here, and they're pretty good ones. I'll post them in the video, so pause it and check them out. That's all for this week's edition of Rev It Up. We'll be back next week for results from the Cresco Speedway, and I think we'll even post a video during the Cresco Speedway week as Mighty Howard County Fair. So Stick right with us at Rev It Up, as you never know when there's going to be a video coming out this week, because we'll have our hands full for Demolition Derby's races at the Mighty Howard County Fairs. So we'll be back more with next week for sure. And you've been watching Rev It Up.